It's July 8th, 2024. Today's writing session was much smoother than yesterday. Decided to write on my phone today and just dive right into this chapter. And it was a pretty action packed chapter, lots of movement. Got a small chase going on, and we've got a kind of a quicker climax to the gate, and decided to make a major decision about a an important character. And it was funny because I was talking to my wife about the plot problems I was having. I'm still having. I still haven't decided everything yet with the gates and what they're supposed to like. Is this a good thing or a bad thing type of deal? And she seemed kind of mortified when I told her, like, you've written almost 70,000 words for this novel, and you don't know what one of the main parts of the story is. And for me as a writer, I this is this is not too concerning. And because she was like, you've written yourself into a corner, and I was like, well, shit, I write my way out. Isn't that the way it goes, right? If you wrote yourself into a corner, because we get like that sometimes, it feels like, oh, I'm trapped. I killed this character off, or I said this about that, and I think that's one of the things I've had this skill. I think that's one of the things that scares a lot of authors is when they get to this point and they're like, "Oh shit, what did I do? Why did I do this?" And then you think I got to go undo all this stuff. It's like, no, no, you don't. You can just make some new shit up. You made the whole thing up, so why can't you make something else new up? And this is what I was gonna say. I got this skill when I was a kid because my brothers and I would always be playing with our characters, with our action figures. We called them characters, but we'd always be playing with them. And it was like, well, he comes out and he beats him up, but then he gets picked up by her and she picks him up, and now she's back. Oh, but wait, she's not really good. She's bad now. And you can just kind of do this back and forth. Now, of course, you don't want to do that just willy nilly in fiction. There's tools, there's foreshadowing, and there's how you use the language and things like that. But the point is, it's your story, so you can really make it do whatever you want it to do. And that's one of the things that's freeing about writing fiction. I understand for some authors, for some writers, this is a scary thing because there's no rails. There's nothing to tell you what's right and what's wrong and what's good and what's bad. It's just it's your taste all the way. It really is. It's how you present the story, and that's one of the things that was cool about what my wife said about Sinkhole yesterday, about my novella. She was like, it's very visual, which is actually that was intentional to make it very, that goes all the way down to the visuals, the comic book style visuals that go along with it. That's on the cover. It's very colorful, and that was all good. She was like, I could see exactly what was going on. It was just, she likes stuff to be grounded in plot, and she wants to really know what's going on. And I think thinking about Sinkhole now, it's like, yeah, it would probably work well as a manga or a comic book, because comic books tend to have that kind of standalone feeling. Like you don't get all of the context in one comic book. You just get a snapshot of a scenario or an adventure, and then it ends, and then you get by the next book. And because they have this kind of ongoing nature, they just keep getting extended. I'm saying this as somebody who doesn't really read comic books, but I mean that's what I think of when I think of comic books, like this kind of ongoing saga where they keep adding characters, they keep adding scenarios. Certain plot threads will fall off or they'll end, and then new ones will spring up, and you can kind of just have this kind of thing going forever if you wanted to. And that's what it was with Sinkhole. But anyway, back to Gates of Okinawa. Today was I'm really paying attention now into the language and how I'm constructing sentences. I'm really working on that, and reading fiction and nonfiction daily is really helping with that. It's really just seeing a bunch of it's not just about getting the ideas, but it's the mechanics as well. And I'm really because I'm on man, I'm approaching 50 days, 50-day streak. I think this is day 48. Tomorrow will be 49 of writing daily, writing and reading daily, and doing these updates, these kind of downloads, which has been good because I like doing stuff more like chipping away at it. I'm not really a all at once type of person. And so this is working out for me because I'll have these recordings, I'll have these transcripts to turn into something more after this project is done. So we'll see what happens with them in the future.